everyone. I thought I'd do a continuation on a vlog I did where I had the beginning picture was 3 candles. They're candles that have batteries. They're not like with the light. But anyhow, I said something in there about the days are long but the years are short. And I was reading your comments, and it just got me to thinking about how, when we're raising our family, if you have one child or 20 or whatever you have, I couldn't imagine someone with 20 children, how you'd have time for each of them, but to each their own. But when you're going through it, it just seems like, I remember especially the newborn stage, right? When the babies aren't sleeping. Well, maybe you had a good baby, I don't know. But, if the baby gets up every 2 hours to eat and it takes them an hour to eat, then you're just basically not sleeping. And my babies were ones that I would say they would be partying all night. I had some that had colic. My first baby was either from 5 to 7 or 7 to 9 or 5 to 9. I don't know. He would scream bloody murder. At that point, we were living in an apartment. It was horrifying because the people were knocking on the walls because the baby was making noise. My first husband at the time was working a lot, so he wasn't there. I was alone, waiting for my mom. Early on, she came over a lot because I had a first baby, and I would be like, I can't wait till she comes and I could hand him over to her and make dinner and, do all that kind of stuff. But, I had the colicky baby. Then when you have a second baby, then, you have, again, you have the new baby with their schedule. And my kids just loved to party at night when they were little. And that means you're up. Well, at least I am. I didn't really have helpful husbands. The second one sort of helped, but, if they're not drinking a bottle, there's just so much the husband can do. But he helped, but the first one didn't really help with the babies. He liked when they were like 5 years old. So anyhow, so you're up all night with this baby, right? And then in the morning, you got a toddler that wakes up at the crack of dawn. Well, mine didn't. I was lucky. Mine slept in a bit more, but still, you're tired. You count like the minutes, add them up and see if you got an hour of sleep even. But then you got to be there for the busy toddler. And I remember I would bring my kids up to my mom's work. She always liked to show them off. And I remember I brought them up, and this one lady, her name was Diane. I don't know how I remember her name. And she said, enjoy these times because it's going to go so fast. Actually, I remember I had 3 kids then because they were very close in age. And I'm like, what is she talking about? This isn't going to go fast. This is just, oh my gosh, just constant. I loved it. I'm not complaining. I love being a mom. And my mom used to say, you love babies. She says she loved teenagers. Teenagers, now they're a little bit hard to take care of. But yes, I've loved babies since I was a little kid. I remember I used to babysit when I was 9 years old. I would never leave a 9-year-old with my babies. But people trusted me. I was responsible. I guess I was a little mommy from day one. But anyhow, yes, I love babies. I love children. And I feel very blessed. Water. Excuse me. Very blessed that I was blessed with a big family because I was an only child. But, even if you have one child, and there's moms that work. Most of my friends, well, not most, I'd say 50-50 were working. And, they'd be up at night, unless they had good husbands that helped them. But then, they didn't get much sleep and they had to go to work, presentable in front of people, get dressed and whatever. And I usually put my hair up in a ponytail. I'd get dressed. My first marriage, I always curled my hair, put my makeup on. I don't know what I was thinking. I actually did in my second marriage, too. That's why I'm trying to look presentable for all of you, because why shouldn't you get presentable me if those 2 people that didn't deserve it got it right? Just a little joke. It wasn't really funny. But anyhow, as you're in it, in the thick of things, it just seems like, oh my gosh, especially the newborn stage, you're thinking, oh my goodness. I watch these YouTubers now and they're like, oh, and they all have nannies and babysitters and family, and I know if you were lucky to have family, my mom would just come, after work here and there. She would never take off. My last child from my first marriage, she picked me up from the hospital. Kids were out of school. I ran into the grocery store, got some groceries, and she dumped us off basically. And she ran off to work. She loved her job. I mean, she loved her life, and that was her life. And I wouldn't expect her to help me. It would have been nice, but anyhow. So I did a lot alone, and when you're in it, it's like, you're tired, but somehow how about doctors that learn, are in school? They're on 24, 48-hour shifts. How do they go without sleep? I heard they do get to sleep, so I think they get a little more sleep than we do. But anyhow, I would never trade it for the world. I still have all the memories from all the kids. I could tell you about every single one and their habits, but they all, in common, partied all night long while Mommy wanted to sleep. So, for me, I don't think it really got harder with more kids, because you kind of got used to it and that's what you're going to face. I must say with my daughter, so she was my 7th child, my mom, I guess she started feeling a little sorry for me. She did say, don't you want a life? Like, in other words, why do you keep having babies? I said, this is my life, Grandma. This is my life. I want to be a mom. So she, when I had my daughter, it was pretty hot, and I had terrible, terrible headaches. And she would come over, I remember the first month before work, and she would drop off McDonald's pancakes for me. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have made it through. Honest to goodness, I had such bad migraines. So that was really nice, and I appreciated. But you know what? It went fast. It went, how did it go this fast? How am I a Nana now? I don't understand, I remember my dad always said, I made him a grandpa really early because I got married out of high school. Well, not right away. I think a year, within the year. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's over with. But he says, oh, I'm too young to be a grandpa. And, I feel the same way because inside, I don't feel like a Nana. I see what he's talking about. I couldn't understand it because I thought, but you're older. Well, he wasn't older. He was in his 40s. But I get it now. I get it now. When we were young and we thought 30 was old. When I hear kids saying, like, the 18 to 21 crowd or 16, whatever, 30 is old. I'm like, watch what you say. But you get it. But it's too bad that we don't have that, I don't know, just like an aha moment to realize, because I enjoyed my children thoroughly and I was lucky enough to be able to stay home. I did work here and there. I worked as a suicide counselor a few nights a week. I worked in a toy store at Christmas. I mean, we didn't need the money in my first marriage, but my mom said it's good to get out, so I did. I managed a store and I managed just a few, very part-time. I didn't even make 20 hours. So I worked here and there, but basically it was only when my mom could come, which was very rare. But I was basically a stay-at-home mom, which I loved, and I feel very blessed again that I was able to do it. We lived, a very, tight life. My first marriage, we were pretty well off. I mean, we would have been more well off, but we helped a lot of people with our money because we had it, and that's what I felt what you do. But I just felt very lucky that I could stay at home because I couldn't imagine. I thought, my gosh, well, first of all, if I had to drop my child in a daycare, I never had a sitter for my children except my mom, except when I was diagnosed with a deadly heart problem. I was, I think, 24, 25, I don't remember. And they had to admit me in the hospital, and I had no babysitter. And the doctor who saw me says she has a sister, and she ended up babysitting. So that was horrible, but in all those years, I didn't have a babysitter at all. So kudos to the moms that work and, leave the kids. It must be hard, I can't imagine. But then there's a flip side of the coin. When you do work, you, like I would say to my first husband, oh, you're so lucky. You get 2 breaks and you get a lunch, and me, I'm, putting food in my mouth. Oh, I would have enjoyed food more if I would have known I can't eat food unless it's mushed. But I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I didn't have the time, like, my mom used to say, oh, she loved to go to lunch with her friends at work, and I didn't have that. I didn't have the social interaction. I mean, I did with the friends that the ones that were at home. So there's both sides of the coin, good and bad. We each choose what we what's good for our family. But the bottom line is, I wish somehow we had a way to even more thoroughly enjoy and realize that it was going to come to an end. And I remember this family I raised, and I went to see them when they were teenagers because I wanted to see how they had grown up. And she was saying about the empty nest thing, and even at that point, I couldn't understand or even think about that. And I still have my son at home, but it's just, I would go back if we could only have like one do-over, and to do over again, but know what we know now, that it's not going to last forever, because it goes fast. It really does. And the kids grow up, they get married, or they get married and move away, or just move away, or they have their own lives and they're busy. And I'm so grateful when I get to see my granddaughter. My grandsons are far away, so I don't get to see them. My daughter and her husband are in the Army, so it's hard. It really is. So I'm thankful for my son Paulie. He's here for a reason, because otherwise I would be alone already for a long time. Well, actually, no. If I didn't get married the second time, I'd be already without kids, and maybe I'd probably be working, I suppose, because what else would I be doing, right? But yeah, that's it. I'm trying not to cry. So, if any of you still have children, enjoy them, because blink and it will be over. And grandchildren too. Now this is a point where we know that this doesn't last forever either. So enjoy them too. So anyhow, I don't remember what I talked about, a whole bunch of chit chat, but comment below whatever you got out of this, whatever you want to add. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share, sharing is caring. Don't forget to pay for it. Feels good in your heart, Polly's heart and my heart. Call a friend, check on your elderly neighbors. Share our channel, share GoFundMe. We'd really appreciate it. Most importantly, do something nice for yourself every day and stay safe. So for now, I hope this made sense. Bye, everyone.